This is Gemara Sanhedrin Daf Lamid Ches, and we're holding in the bottom of Lamid Zayin Amid Beis. And once again, the learning for the month of Teves, we like to generously dedicate as a schos aliyas neshama for Rav Arleib and Rav Yaakov v'siyata d'shmaya. His heilige neshama should go higher and higher in Bezdin Shalmayla, in Gan Eden Shalmayla, closer to the Kisei HaKavod. We're holding on the bottom of Lamed Zayin with Beis. It says the Gemara approximately 10 lines to the bottom. Paschal Teva Paschal, the first 4 words in a line. V'omer Rav Yehuda Rei Rav Chia. Says Rav Yehuda the name Rav Chia Golos Mechaberes Avain Mechsa. Golos is Mechaber, the half of an Avera. Meikara Ksev Yisi Navin Adul Saif Ksev Yashem Aretz Naid. See that half of the Avera was rid from the fact that he went to Golos. Amar Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, Golos mechaber shleisha dvarim. Going to the Golos is mechaber on 3 things. Shenamar, as the Basli says, Hayosheb Yirazois Yemois Bechayrev Birav Ubedever Vayotze v'nafal alaksadim hatzirim alechem yichyu v'yisaloi nafshoi lishlal. And it should be for him for a prize. So 3 different entities that Golos is going to fix for. Rav Yechon Amar Golos Mechaber Salakol, Golos Mechaber on everything. Shemar Kom Hashem Kisu is a ish hazeh. Right, this man Yochanan, who's the Melech Yehuda, hazeh iri gaver leyatzliach biyamav, known will be successful. Kili Yitzchak Mizara ish yeshiv al kisei David Umayshel Oid Yehuda. Ubasa the Golik save, and after that's before he went to Golos. And after he went to Golos, says the Torah Bnei Yechanya Asir Shaliltil Bnei Yechanya was Asir Shiltil, that was his child, who was his son Zerubbabel, was the Melech from Bavel during the second Chorban. So we see the fact that Yechanya went to Golos, he got a kapara in his Averais, and the Malchus was able to return back to his family. Asir Sheibarta. Nope, I read that wrong. Asir Shalta B'nai. There you go. Asir, or 2 lines from the bottom. Sheibarta Imai B'beis Asurin. Says the Gemara, Asir, why is Yechaniah's son called Asir? Because his mother gave birth to him B'beis Asurin. Shaltiel is called why? Sheshaltelu al Kel, told him that Hashem implanted him in the mother's womb, not the way it normally is done. What does that mean? A woman cannot conceive while she is standing, even if the relations are had while the woman is standing. Says the Gemara, Gemiri, she doesn't become pregnant from such an act of tashmish. However, in this story, Vihinit Abra Mu'umad, she indeed became pregnant standing. As the Tab Rashi points out, Shayabes Asurin Sar was a narrow jail cell. Vin Makom Lishchav, there was nowhere for her to lie down. Vishayeshlu Sham Isha Ba'aguda Devikar Abra Amr Allah. So we see a nace that even though they were not able to have relations in the normal manner, still she was able to become pregnant. Tavar Acher, says the Gemara, on the top line of the Mechesim Health. Shaltiel, what does that mean? Shenishal Al Alasai Kel. Now, what does that mean? That Shaltiel, because Hashem asked to be freed of his shvuah, meaning originally Yechani had a shvuah that he's going to die childless, and Hashem Kaviyachal asked to be freed from that, meaning that Hashem went back on the shvuah. Zerubbabel, why should you call that? Shenizah Shebavel, she was implanted in the womb in Bavel, Umay Shemai. And what was the name? Nechemia ben Chaklaya Shemai, the famous name, of course. Soim Gedalia Nechemia ben Chaklaya was his name. Yehuda continues the Gemara. We continue with halacha said by Rav Chia. Yehuda v'Chizkiya b'nei Rav Chia. Yehuda and Chizkiya, the children of Rav Chia, v'Yasi b'Sudasa kamei de Rabbi. They were sitting in a suda in front of Rabbi Vla v'Ka'amri v'Laimidi, and they weren't saying anything. Amrlu, Rabbi said to them, Agavra Chamra Dardiki, says Rabbi, the young kids over here, they're overwhelmed with wine. Kecha delimru Lemerta Milsa. You know why? So they're going to talk, let them drink. Once they became a little bit drunk, once they had a little bit more wine, they opened up and they said, Ein ben David va. Ben David Mashiach will not come. Ad sheyichliku shnei. 1 second. Ad sheyichlu Shnei batei avos b'Yisrael. But David HaMelech, Ben David, Mashiach will not come until Shnei batei avos, the two ruling families, cease to exist from Klal Yisrael. Veilu hein roish koilish b'Vavel v'nasi shaberetz Yisrael. Shenemar v'ayel mikdash l'avin negef l'atzur michshal l'shnei batei Yisrael. Amar lehem, says the Gemara, Rebbe said to them, Bonai, my children, Katsim atem. Now you're putting thorns between your eyes. Amar le Rebbe Chia, Rebbe, Al yira beinecha. Rebbe, do not be angry. Yayin nitin b'shivim oisyois. Wine is shivim oisyois. It means 70 letters. It means 70 in Gematria, 10, 10, and 50. V'soid nitan b'shivim oisyois. And soid, samach vav dalet, 66 and 4 is 70. Nichlas yayin yatsa soid. One goes out, soid comes out. And that's the reason why they're talking this way. It was purely from the koyach of the wine in their system. Continues the Gemara, 8 lines from the Y lines. Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Mar Okriv, Amar Rav Chisda. Darish Mari Bar Mar. Marid Dichsev, what is the meaning of the pasuk? Vayishkad Hashem al Rav Yivel Aleo, Oleinu ki tzadik Hashem Eloi Keinu. Hashem brought the evil quickly upon us, because Hashem is tzedakah. We should tzadik Hashem. Because Hashem is tzaddik, v'yishkad Hashem al Rav Yivel Aleinu. What's going on over here? The sitkas of Hashem caused the evil, caused the ra. How could that be? Answers Gemara in yes. Yisrael. Why? Shehiktim galus sitkiyo. From the fact that he made the galus of sitkiyo come first. While the galus of Yechanya was still alive. And explains the Gemara why was this considered an act of sitkis? It says about the goals of Yechanya, Cherish v'Amasker, the Cherish and the Masker, the craftsmen and the gatekeepers, Elef were 1,000. Kim Shabbos Chanakol, Nasei Kecharshin u'Masker, says the Gemara, Kivan Shabbos Charash, what's the word Charash? Kivan Shabbos Chanakol, Nasei Kecharash, and they're like deaf mutes. What that means is that once they opened up learning Torah, everyone else was like a deaf mute. They couldn't talk in the presence of these incredible chachamim. Shabbos chanachol nasik kecharshin. Masker as well. Keep shasayim halacha shuv ein paischim. Once they are soiger in halacha, no one could open back up the case. Excuse me, ein paischim v'kam ave elef. Ulamar shiktim shtei shanim living shamtem, says Ula that Hisham made the goals 2 years. So we're Vishunantem, it's 852. But if they stayed in Eretz Yisrael, they would have been destroyed, and therefore Shem took them out 2 years earlier. Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov Shema Mina Mehira. You know we learn from over here. Damari Alma Tam Neimei of Achamshet V'Tartin Have. What is quickly in the eyes of God? 852, as the pasuk warns. That's when Kaisel will be destroyed quickly, and that took 852 years. We continue 5 lines into the Y lines. Lefika, quoting the Mishnah, that Adam Nivra Yechidi, man was created alone. Tana Rabbana Nadir Yechidi, Aver Yechidi Nivra, Neimash Yehei. What is the reason that man was created solely? Says the Gemara. There are many gods in heavens, and each one has its own man. Tavarachem, they are tzaddikim, they are rishayim. Tzaddikim amrim anu b'nei tzaddik, risham amrim anu b'nei rasha. And therefore, in order to evade such a fight, says the Mishnah, Avra Adam Nivra Yechidi Davaracher. We don't want the families to fight. Says Mars, what are you gaining? Answers the Gemara, Ubarush Tayam Malachas Kam V'Kama, says the Gemara. Different Tayam Malachas Kama V'Kama. We continue with the two dots. Continues the Gemara quoting the Mishnah Lahagid Gedulasai to teach the greatness of one man. Taner Rabbanan. Lahagid Gedulasai Shal Melch Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Sha'adim Tevei Kama Matbeis. One person mints many coins with one mold, and they're all similar. Hashem creates man with the signature, with the chaysam, with the mold of Adam Rishon. No one is similar. Shenemar tizabe kachaymer chaysam. And he would stand up like a garment, each one being different. Continues the rise in mind, but it's the same. What is the reason that people's faces are not the same? Why? No, we don't want someone to see, oh, that's a nice house, that's a nice wife. And he'll claim it's mine. Tanya, we learned in a brayz. One is different than his friend in three ways. Bekol, his voice, B'mar, his appearance, U'bedas, in his mind. Bekol, B'mar, Misham Erva. The reason he has a different voice, the reason he looks different, is Misham Erva. We don't want anyone to be immoral if two people look the same. U'bedas, Ne'egazan v'chamsanim. Tanu Rabbanon continues the Gemara, 20 lines in the bottom. First one is v'chamsan. Adam never be erev shab ibnei mashlayu umnei ma'am. Why? Shayamina ma'im. We don't want the heretics to say shutav hayalayim hakadosh baruch hu kimay separation davar acher. Sheim tazach daitam alav aimer la yitosh kadmech. That if sheim tazach daitrach, if man becomes arrogant, we could say to him, Yitosh kadmech, the lowly gnat was created before you, b'may separation, in the order of the creation of the world. Davar acher, another shot, kadeshi tikanis lemitzah miyad, so they don't do mitzvahs right away. Davar acher, kadeshi tikanis l'suda miyad. Mosh l'mel b'zudam sheibane plal to nikitza palace. V'shich lo l'viskin suda. The king built a palace. He prepared a whole banquet. Only then, and only after it's all prepared, then he brings in the guests. Shenemar, Chachmas, Bonsa, Besa, wisdom has built the house. Chatzah Amudeh Shiva. She is cut out of 7 pillars. Tavcha, Mascha. Yena, she has prepared her meat. She has mixed her wine. Af Arka. Sholchana, she has set her table. Sholchan Naireseha Tikra, she has sent forth her maidens and called Al Gabe Meroime Karas on the tops of the cities. What did this passing teach? Chachmas ben Isaiah base. What do we learn from there? Zumi Dasai Shalakadosh Baruch Hu. This is the meat of Hashem, or 10 lines from the bottom. First word line is Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shmar Skalam Kula v'Chachma Chatza Mudel Shiva. What's that? Ilu Shiva Simei Breishes. Tavcha Mascha Yeina Av Erka Shulchana Ilu Yamim the seas. Unahares and the rivers of Chosar Cheolam. Sholchan Irisah Tikra Ze Odom v'Chaval Gabim Remes Kares. Rabbi Rachleni Rami Ksivi Asla Sira Gape Uksiv Al Kisei. What's going on? This theory is originally it says Al Gape on the head of the city, and then it says Al Kisei upon the seat. Petchil Al Gape Usayv Al Kisei, says the Gemara. Originally, Betchila, before that, Adam Rishon was at the heights, and then he was put down on the Kisei. Mi Pati, continues the Gemara. Mi Pasi Yosher Heina Chaser Leiv. Amra Loi, says the pasuk, whoever is simple should turn, and whoever lacks understanding will be told. The Kadosh Baruch Hu, Mi Patai Lizeh, who preceded Adam to do the Aveira Isha. Amra Loi. So the woman says to Hashem, Noiv Isha Chaser Leiv. Where do we see that the woman is Chaser in understanding? Noiv Isha Chaser Leiv. Says the Gemara Tanya, we learned in a race, 2 lines in the bottom, we continue about Adam Arishain. Adam Arisha Mikol Elam Kulai Hutzbar offered his dirt to create Adam Arisha, was created from all the place of the entire world. Shenemar Golmi Ro Ve'inechad, eyes swept over the entire world. Continues the Gemara, Amar Rav Aishia teaches Rav Yosha Mishvei de Rav. Adam Arishan Gufai Mi Bavel, his body was from Bavel, as we turn over to Lamachesim Ebeis, V'Roisha, and his head was from Eretz Yisrael, Ve'Ivarav Mishar Aratzais, and his Ivarim were from other as Agabais, his backside of Ravachab, Me Akra the Agma, from a place called Akra the Agma. Continuing the theme of the creation of Adam Arishain, Shaim as Ishais, 22 hours, Aviyayoim, 12 hours is the day. Shari Shani, the first hour, Hotz will offer the door was gathered. Shani, the second hour, Nasu Goylam, who's created into a statue. Nase Goylam. Shlish is the third hour. Nimdachwe Varav, the Varam birch carved out. Revi is the fourth hour. Nizdaku ben Nisham, the Nisham was put in. Chamish is Aman Areg, she just cars Shemois. Shavi is Nizdagdu Loichava. Shemines Alalamita. On the seventh hour, Alulamita Shnayim Yardu Arba. Excuse me, the eighth hour, Adam and Chava went to bed, and Yardu Arba, 4 children, 2 children resulted, 4 in total. Tishias Nitztava. What does that mean? During the 9th hour, he was commanded Shlochem and Elo not to eat for the tree. Yasir, the 10th hour, Sarach. The 10th hour, he did the Avera. Achas, the 11th hour, Nidon Bishtayim Esrei Nitrod. He was judged in the Shemes in the 12th hour Nitrod. He was banished. V'halach lain, he went. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Adam Bikar Bar Olin, the fascinating and quite busy day of the creation of Adam Arishan. Amar Recham continues the Gemara in Chaya Ra'al Shailetes Ba'Adam El Kinimla Kebehema Shenamar, as the pasuk says, Nimshal Kabehemos Nidu. We have a simon over here to memorize what's going on, and says the Gemara. Amar Rav Yudam Rav. He says Adam, at the moment that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create man, Bara Kat Achasham Malachi Ashares, created a group of Malachim, Amrlem Ritzayinchem, Nas Adam Misalmeinu, Amrlefan Rebbeina Shalaylam. Mama said, what do you mean to create an image in the figure of Malach? He said to Hashem, Mama said, what it will be the deeds of man? Hashem responds, what should man do that he should remember to Ben Adam? What could a mortal man be mindful of? So what happened? Hashem extended, whatever that means, but Hashem extended his finger, Kitana, his small finger, B'nei V'sarfan, amongst the different malachim, and he burnt them, and he destroyed them. Continues the Gemara, V'chein kat shniya, so to the second group, kat shlishes, so to the third group of angels, Amr Lefanov said in front of Hashem, Rebbeina shalaylam rishon yishav levanecha ma'a'ilu. The original malachim that said ma'a'ilu, what did they accomplish? Kolam kula shel, excuse me. Yeah, kolam kula shel chayi, kol ma she'ata writes last b'olam chasei. Whatever Hashem want to do, you're going to do. Kivan she'igil an shidar ma'avul an shidar flaga. Once those daughters came, Shemai saying, Kalim, that their actions were messed up. Amr Lefan Rabbeina Shalom. Layafa Amr Rishainim Lefanecha. Were the early ones not correct before you? Amr Lefan says, Hashem, Ad Zikna, Aniho, Ani Ezbov, Amalei, Aseva, Ani Ezbov, Vigaimer. Till old age, I'll be there. I'm going to try my best to always deal with people and their shortcomings. Continues the Gemara, 4 lines from the wide lines. Amr Avidam Rav Adam Rishon Misaiva Ilamat Saifa was able to see from one end of the world to the next. Shenamar Liminayim Shabar Lakima Adam Al Aretz. Well, the mixed Hashem Aksei Hashemayim Kivish Sarach. Hiniach Kadosh Baruch Hu Yadav Alav Amiyata. After Adam Rishon did the Avera, Hashem placed his hand upon him and made him small. Shenamar Chvaken Zartani V'Taishes Alecha Alai Kapecha. Amar Rav Elazar Adam Rishon in Aretz Alurikiyah. Adam Rishon was tremendous. He was take up space from the land all the way to Rikiyah. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, "When Yom Shabar Lekim Adam Al Aretz Lumiksei Hashamayim Varikitsei Hashamayim." Kivin Shesarach continues the Gemara. Once Adam Rishon did the Aveira, Hashem put his hand in him and diminished him in size. Kashu Kradad. He says, Gemara, the 2 psukim are stiras? Answers Gemara, Aidi Chada. Really, both psukim, Chada Mida Hava, are teaching us the same measurement, whether it's the distance from Earth to Shemayim, with the difference of one end of the universe to the next. It's all the same. That's the different mishalim that the Braisas give. A third din. Adam Rishon B'Lashon Rami Sapor. Adam Rishon spoke in Aramaic. Shemar Mali Ma Yakru Reacha Kel. Behind Adam Rishon Yisrael means by the say what is the meaning of the pasuk? It says Sefer told us Adam. What does the pasuk mean? It says it's the book of Adam. Does Adam have a book? Melamed. Sha'ar Kadosh Baruch Hu dar v'dar sheisav. Hashem sowed Adam Rishon all different generations. Dar v'dar v'chakamav. All different chachamim. Kiva and she'igia l'dar shel Rabbi Akiva. She'meiz b'tayra she'samach. Excuse me. B'tayrasav v'nisatzav v'nisasai. Adam was happy with the Torah of Rabbi Akiva and was saddened over his eventual death. Amar Lai u'mayakra rayolech. So Hashem says, what benefit is your Mayakra Rayalech Kel? Says the Gemara with another, 6 lines into the very white lines. Teaches the Gemara, Adam Rishon min haya. Adam Rishon was a min. Shenemar, Vikar Hashem Elokim ala Adam, Yimar lo eicha ke. Where's Hashem in? Yes, not a libach. On to where not a libach has your heart been turned. Rav Yitzchak Gomer, a third statement. Moshe Kolas Be'alas Aya Adam Rishon pulled his arla to try to conceal his bris milik sevacham. Sevehema Kadam Avru bris. Sevasam as brisi offer. Rav Nachman ever kaifer Baker Adam Rishon was a kaifer. Perkaya. Sevach Avru bris. Sevasam Amru Al Asher Azvu bris Hashem. Tanan Asam says the Gemara. We learn in Mishnah. Once you be diligent to learn Torah, v'dam hashtashel v'karis to know how to answer v'karsim. Rav Yechon lo yishon ala v'karis shel akom al v'karis Yisrael kol shkein depokat tvei a v'karis of a yid. Don't debate with him. Why? Because it's going to cause him to even go more off. Cause it to become more heretical. So don't engage in such conversation. Whatever the aminim use the pasuk, the tshuva, the rebuttal is mamish right next door. Says Gemara, what are some examples? So they said it's more than one God. V'amru elikim as Adam b'tzalma. The next one says Hashem created a man singular in his image. Quotes the Gemara, let us descend and confuse their speech. Hashem went out to see the city and the town. Kisham naglu elav elokim, because Hashem appeared to him. Lekel oini oisi b'yom sarasi. To Hashem who answers on my day of distress. Lekel ana oisi b'yom sarasi, as Hashem answers those when in distress. Kimiga yadol, continues the Gemara, shalikim karev alav. Who is a guy gadol that Hashem is so close to him? Like Hashem, wherever we call out to him, He answers us. Hashem will redeem them as a people. The Karsavan Rimin continues the Gemara. I, Daniel, except the thrones were set up, and until the ancient days are coming back. Says the Gemara, what does that mean? What is the meaning of here trying to show us? By using the plural, answers the Gemara, Kid Rav Yochanan, Rav Yochanan. Hashem does not do anything unless He consults with the heavenly court. Shenemar. So Pasuk says, B'gzirasan b'irin pitkama b'maymar kedishin. In heaven, Shelton Hashem asks, is Yagach Kulu, and what happened? Is Yagach Kulu, everyone rejoiced. Is Yagach Kulun. Says the Gemara, excuse me, I read it wrong. V'maymar kedishin Shelton. Ask the Gemara, Kulu. This makes sense according to one pasuk for Adi Kars and Ramav. What do we do with that pasuk? Michael and Meimar. Echad Loi says the Gemara, Echad LeDavid. One is for him, for Hashem, one is for David. The Tani, we learned in the Brayse, Echad Loi, Echad LeDavid, Divri Rav Akiva. Amalei Rav Yaisi. Akiva, and must have to Oisem Shechina Chal. You make the Shechina into mundane, Echad Dini, Echad Litzdaka. Says the Gemara, very nice. Did he accept it or not? Tashma explains the Gemara. The Tani Echad Ledim, Echad Litzdaka, Rav Akiva. Amr Rav Lozman Azariah Akiva Malacha Itzel Hagad Leklach Itzel Negayim Ha'olais. What are you doing? Paskening. Go back to Negayim Ha'olais. Elach Echad Lekisei, says the Gemara. Echad Lesav Serif. One is for Hashem's chair, one is for a stool. Kisei V'leisha V'lav Sa'afram La'adoicham Baraglav, to rest his feet on it. Amr Rav Yachmin Haiman Diadi La'aduri Limine. Someone knows, and very critical, not everyone should just respond to the minim. If someone knows how to respond, Kirav, Idias Lahadir. If you know what to say, then Idias, it is appropriate, it is the right thing. Haiman Diaduri Laminim Kirav Idis. That was embarrassing. Someone knows how to respond like Rav Idis, says the Gemara Lihadir. If he doesn't know how to respond, he should. Now, we're going to stop over here. I'll pick it up from Amar Ahu, Mina, on the next year of Siyata Dishmaya.